My name is Camilla, and I'm from Sweden. And I did my study visit at Ygap Garden. And all of you who knows me from the Ygap program knows that I'm a communicator. So I was very, very excited when the guys from Ygap Gardens asked us for tips in how to increase social media presence. For tips and how to do that. So for my postcard, I'm doing a little bit different. I have made a social media strategy for them, and this one that I'm going to show now is a very short version. I have a longer report for them later, so they can use later. So Ygap Garden is an organic food forest biodiversity garden in Camilla. It was established in 2013 and is registered as a non-profit organization. They are all about creating safe space for all people to be accepted and using garden as a form of activism and revolution. Their mission is to champion youth globally and take part in the environmental affairs with the purpose to create a sustainable livelihood and taking on their role to serve the community with relevant information and gardening skills to create a green society. My internship, you just saw Nea's videos. It was a lot of snails and weeds, but also so much more. With this social media strategy, I want to increase Ygap Garden's social media presence and for Ygap Garden to get more knowledge of how to use social media in an effective way. And first, to start, on which social media platforms to use. And my recommendation is to use as few as possible and really bring the message through them. And my recommendation is to stick with Facebook and Instagram. And when I talked to the guys earlier this week, they say we want a global target group. And that is awesome, and I think we'll get there. But let's start with a little bit smaller, and my recommendation is to group it into 3 for locals and tourists and potential cooperation partners. And then it's always like, you know your community best, so much better than me, and if you find another target group or have another one in mind, I'm sure you will do a great job with reaching them as well. And the reason why you wanted to know your target group, because it's easier to portray the message to these ones if you focus on specific target groups in your social media posts. This is what I've gathered, what Ygap Garden is all about. The Vava Room, the love, the sustainability, the gardening is cool, and of course Ubuntu. And with your posts and your message, you want this to shine through all of the time in all of the posts. And that also includes your tone of voice, because maybe if you talk about you need to have a different voice when you talk to the different target groups. And everything will be more explained in the report, I promise. It's important to have a continuous dialogue with your followers. If it's possible to publish a post every week, that is very good, and that would be my recommendation. But if you don't have the time, just try to make it continuous. So of course, as you've been talking about, publishing your events and during the events, very, very good content. But also in between these events, so you don't let your followers forget about you. And also, hashtags are very good to get new followers, to get new people to find you, and always tag companies that you cooperate with and those who come to your garden, and always ask them to tag your account. So what to publish on social media? We've been talking about events earlier, but there's also an opportunity to teach your followers on what you're doing. If that is teaching your followers how to plant different kind of veggies or flowers as well, from seed to plant. And also, the story about behind the Ygap garden is so interesting. You could do a series of that as well. We got to listen to it this Monday, and it was very interesting and very inspiring. And also, teach your followers about your partners, cooperation partners, what they do, and what the partnership is about. And then it's always good to show people who comes to your garden, who visits you, and ask them a few questions. And I have examples of questions in the report if you want to use them, or if you have your own. And also, what's going on right now, in this moment? Are you cleaning the shed? Are you putting seeds in the ground? Are you watering? Are you just... whatever you do, just show us what you are doing. It's interesting for your followers to see your day-to-day. And always use pictures. And here I have a little example of how that can look. Example, from seed to plant, we will teach you, and then maybe a couple of weeks later, you know how long, I'm not sure. Look what you have created. Thank you.